This RCW 10.99, yeah. The general guidelines point 040, yeah. Shall not require proof that either party is seeking dissolution of marriage, yes, prior to instigation of criminal proceedings. Now, it could have been that you thought, well, they would want to get a divorce if they're a victim of domestic violence. Yeah, that's probably why they put that there. You'd think, well, why would any person want to stay in a domestic violent relationship? Yeah. You don't have to prove that either one of them is seeking a dissolution of marriage. No. Mm-mm. But if they did prove it, and they said that they were a victim of domestic violence, I think that there is an obligation to investigate, yes, any accusation of domestic violence. Now, the idea of the United Nations marriage certificate, yeah. Let's say you asked me. I was found not guilty in July of 2012. Yes. The police or sheriff's department approaches me and said, Paul, we got a copy of the dissolution of marriage. Your wife said that you're a domestic abuser. I would say that she made up a fake police report on Guam. I'd show them the expungement order that I no longer have a criminal record. Yes. And I explained that I was on probation, but once I was found not guilty, yes, I really do not have any domestic violence or child abuse that could be associated with my name. Now, the police would have an obligation to investigate the petitioner as to why she had that claim. Well, I had him arrested on Guam. Yeah. He went to jail for 10 days. Yes. And I tried to communicate that there was no drug or alcohol problems and that the marriage should seek reconciliation instead of dissolution of marriage. Oh, now let's say that this should not have dissolved the marriage. There should be some legal grounds for awarding. Yeah. Excuse me. Yes. Dissolution of marriage. Yes. Now, when being found not guilty, yes, and not having a criminal record, I would mention, yes, that we were married in Kosovo and our marriage certificate was issued from the United Nations. Yes. And I'd probably say that the county can't dissolve the marriage. Now, I know the police and sheriff's departments, they'd say, well, Paul, you don't know what the law says. But I do know where we were married. I do know I didn't want a divorce at that time. Yes. I'm guessing, as in, I think I know what she put in the parenting plan. Hmm. And for there to be a new accusation of domestic violence or child abuse, it should have had to be, it should have had to have taken place in Washington State. Oh, haven't talked to her. Haven't talked to her for a year. Haven't seen my sons. There can't be a new accusation. You can't go back 5 years ago because of an argument. We did experience marriage counseling a couple times during our marriage, yes, but things got worked out. There was never a 911 phone call. No. In fact, I would tell you, yeah, that this state cannot dissolve that marriage certificate. Now, the police and sheriff's department would tell me, I don't know what I'm talking about. Some reason. They keep telling me I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. But nobody asked me, pooch, if there was a new allegation or accusation of domestic violence or child abuse. Even though she did file for dissolution of marriage, nobody looked at the parenting plan and thought they should call the police right now. Now they're getting sued. Shall waive any requirement the victim's location be disclosed to any person other than the attorney of a criminal defendant upon showing that there's a possibility of further violence. Yeah. Now, provided, in all capital letters, yeah, that the court may order a criminal defense attorney not to disclose his or her client shall identify any reasonable means on docket sheets those criminal actions arise from acts of domestic violence. Now, just so that we understand the definition, establish the following definition of domestic violence proceedings. Yeah. Family or household members means a spouse. Yes. I would say I'm still married, but you'd say I'm delusional. Yeah. You'd say I'm a former spouse, but I never got a copy of the dissolution of marriage. A person who have a child in common or multiple children in common, yes, regardless whether they have been married or have lived together at any time. I have 5 sons, yes. They're playing football for the Quilcene High School right now. Nobody asked me if they should be playing football. It seemed that the superintendent of the Brennan School District and the coach of the Quilcene High School, yes, decided they didn't have to ask the father of the 5 sons, yes, what should your sons be doing? Well, I thought they should sit in the house with me and watch television. That's what I thought. Yeah. We should get ourselves a nice place and they could sit there and complain about how I'm asking them to sit there and talk to me. As if 8 years of separation, yeah, was not a reasonable request of a father to want to spend a little time with his sons, finding out what they're doing in their personal lives. And then there's that Marilyn Van Proyen. I give to what is known as the law-defined sworn peace officers a picture of Susan Bowers in the Rotary newsletter. They say we don't have to enforce the law. She can live in an abusive relationship where you're going to obstruct her from divorcing her husband. Right! And then I give them the documentation of turning the electricity off on me in the middle of winter. Yeah, they don't find that abusive. Landlord laws. Then there's the keeping of all my personal items in the fifth wheel. Yes, after I went to my grandmother's house for Christmas. Theft. Yes. Abuse of authority. Yes. Conspiracy. Pooch. The court notices that went to Mike Van Proyen for the last 8 years. Yeah. Somebody changed my driver's license. I didn't. No. And then there's the thought of Marilyn Van Proyen as being Marilee instead of Marilyn. See, you have to use what is known as unlawful means to accomplish your legal activities. Yes. Of a local conspiracy in law enforcement where they don't enforce the rights of those that are victims of domestic violence. Now, let's say I was talking to Marilyn today. I asked her, yeah, how'd you like to get a nice hotel room? We can sit there and watch television. She's like, no, I don't want to sit and watch TV with you every day watching the TV.